Hey, it's me. That's your favorite witch. I'm here. Welcome to my bedroom again. Say hello to Bella. We are here to talk about my experiences in a cult. I get a lot of questions about that. A lot. And usually when people find out that I was in a cult, their first statement is, wow, that's really cool. And the question is, what was it like? So I thought I would try to answer maybe some questions, give you a little story time, and maybe do a few videos, maybe give you an idea of what happened and how it happened. And it's really humid today. It's only 100 million degrees with like 600% humidity, so sorry. It's hot. So I guess the first thing is I'm an only child. Well, that's complicated. I was adopted. I'm actually the youngest of like 8. The dad says 9. But I was raised as an only child, and I did not know that I was adopted until I was 21. So, till after my son was born. So, as far as I knew, I was an only child. My dad worked for an oil company, and he traveled quite extensively. So he wasn't around a lot as a kid. I was sexually abused from about 3 to 12. And maybe I'll go into that someday. So there was already trauma there. My mom and I never got along. We still don't. A lot of reasons. Part of that was the abuse. Part of that is the cult. Part of that is just mom. She was always the super Christian type. You know, the Pat Robertson, everything is a sin, you're going to hell. If the church is open, you'd better be there kind of Christian. You know, you never cut your hair, you don't wear makeup, and you always wear a dress. Kind of. You know, if you're not from the South, you may not have ever seen them, but they exist. My mom was one of those. They were called charismatic or evangelical type Assembly of God Christian church people. Same thing like 700 Club, Pat Robertson, you know, the big mega churches, all of those like that, but more strict. It was a lot more strict. So when my dad left, I was probably 13 or 14. And you know, it was hard because I've always been a little different. I've never fit in with anybody. I've always worn black. I've always had, you know, a lot of, you know, fishnets, leather, or lace kind of, you know. So in high school I didn't fit in. And then I get to high school and I was different. I was just different. I didn't fit anybody's mold. I didn't fit in anybody's ideal picture. So I was picked on a lot. I had a lot of friends. I was, you know, pretty popular, but I was still picked on quite a bit. It was a very strange kind of juxtaposition of high school. You know, it was very weird for me, but I never felt like I fit in anywhere. And I don't know if the cult has anything to do with that or not. I don't know. So my dad left, and about the time I started 9th grade, I moved to a new town with my mom, my family. We had family there. We started a new church. Well, she started a new church. I was forced to go with her. I wanted no part of it. The church is no, I take that back. The church is still there. The church is still there. The old church isn't, but the new one is. I had family there. There were about 4 families that made up the entire body of the church. There were very few other people, just the people that they brought in, the people they trusted. If you've never seen people yelling, screaming, flopping around on the floor like a fish, fainting, falling out, it's an experience. I used to bring friends and snacks and sit on the back row. Like, you believe this? And they would say, this is not normal. This is not normal. What was I gonna do? So, it was kind of the joke with my friends, Oh, she can't do that, it's a sin. Oh, we're gonna go to the movies, but you can't go, it's a sin. You'll go to hell. It's just how it was. Everybody knew. The thing about a cult is you don't know you're in a cult when you're in one. You really, truly don't. Because you feel like it's normal. When, my family had a TV because my dad loved sports and mom loved romance. She actually had a romance novel addiction, which she would forget me at school so often that the school threatened to call the police on her several times. So we had a TV for that, but no one else did, and they shamed us for that, for having a TV. So I didn't get to watch TV, I didn't get to watch movies, I didn't get to listen to music. Somehow Elvis and the Beatles were okay. I don't really understand the logic there, but when everyone around you is the same, it's normal. You weren't really allowed to associate with anybody like outside the cult because that would lead you to asking questions. And if you know me, you know I love to ask questions. It is a favorite pastime. I will ask questions until you are sick of me, if you like. And I apparently made them sick of me. They didn't like my questions. Mostly because they couldn't answer them. I don't think. I think my mom was probably just lonely, because dad was like gone all the time. And I think maybe she was just looking for somewhere to belong, like somebody to love her, I don't feel like she ever had that in her life either. So I'm trying not to hold that against her. I don't think, in fact, I know that she didn't really know what was happening as it was happening. It just got worse after Dad left. He left me alone with her. I wasn't afraid of anything until I was alone with her. And then I became afraid of everything. I wasn't afraid of heights. She was. Now I am. I wasn't afraid of people. But she was. And then I was. So I think I understand how Jonestown happened, how Waco happened, how Heaven's Gate happened. In college, I really started studying cults. And because I wanted to know why. I wanted to know how this happens. I wanted to know what other people have learned. And what I realize is that when you're in it, you don't see it. To you, what's happening is you're going to go spend time with people that you love, people that you like to spend time with. You don't think, oh, I'm going to go hang out in a cult today. Do you need anything while I'm gone? I'm going to go join a cult today. Do you want to go? That's not how it works. You enjoy these people, so you hang out with them. The more you hang out with them, the more dependent you become. She became. And then pretty soon that's all you hang out with. And suddenly you have their ideas and you're spouting their belief systems and you're not thinking for yourself anymore. You know, like Jonestown, oh, you know, we just want to be together and they won't let us, we're going to have to move. Okay, let's move. Okay, let's go here. It seems pretty good. Okay, let's do that. And before you know it, they're passing out the Kool-Aid. It can snowball real quick. So I know that no one wakes up with the intention to be in a cult. No one gets up in the morning and says, I want some ritual abuse today. I feel like that would be a great idea. No, they don't. And they get so upset about the idea of leaving the cult because they're leaving everything that is so familiar and all the people that they love and everything that they know, every ideology they've ever had. In fact, when I finally did break away, when I finally did, realize what was happening, I had to reevaluate every idea I'd ever had. I had to rethink every ideology. I had to throw out everything I ever knew because it was wrong. It was skewed. It was just wrong. It was some guy's ideas. And I all that time I didn't realize that it had gotten into my head. I thought I had pretty well ignored it because I'm good at ignoring authority figures. It's kind of a superpower. But there it was, stuck in my brain whether I wanted it or not. And I got lucky that I found a lot of good people that have helped me reprogram and reevaluate and step back and look at things from other perspectives and other viewpoints. So I think freedom of choice is so important, especially to kids. Like with my kids, I taught them everything. I taught them about all religions, and I've let them make their own choice. Because I feel like freedom of choice is a basic human right. One that I didn't have. I do have the amazing capacity to block things out. There are a lot of things that I've probably intentionally blocked out. A lot of things that I don't want to remember. That leaves me with an amazing capacity to forgive, but that also leaves me with the ability to be re-injured. With my kids, I never wanted that to happen. But she tried. She really did. It failed miserably, but she really tried, and it almost caused me to never speak to her again. But that's something I'll cover next time. This is kind of a introduction into my life and into the cult. Now that I'm looking back on things, I think the cult really informed my decisions later on. That's Life in a Cult, part 1. So I'll see you next time, and have a magical day, and be safe.